February 26, 2012, 3 crew members were killed, dozens were injured when a Via Rail train derailed in Burlington, Ontario. Now, a year-long investigation into that crash resulted in the Transportation Board of Canada releasing a report Tuesday morning. This is what they had to say. How do you intend on regaining the public's trust after this?
Well, I think the public has become very weary of train derailments, and this was a particularly big one, and they want to see that our recommendations are followed and that the system is fixed so that this won't happen again.
While 2 crew members had clear toxicology reports, the investigation did find that one who was not at the controls, who acted as a conductor, did have certain levels of alcohol and other substances indicative of a mood disorder in his blood. Now, TSB does say that this is not what caused the train to derail.
We don't think that those issues were causal to this accident, so they're a risk in the system, and we're asking the railways and transport to take a look at it, because what's happening is some of that information is falling between the cracks. It resides with the general practitioner for the individual and does not always get transmitted to the railway.
3 recommendations did come out of the report, including installing voice recorders in locomotive cabs. That has been a point of contention in the past.
I would just like to make a contrast between those investigations that we do, because I see the investigations in all the modes, in aviation, in rail, in marine. The investigations that we do where we have recorders are the ones where we can really dig down and look at all of the human factors. What happened in the cab or the cockpit? How did the crew make decisions? How did they relate to one another? And so I know for myself, if you look at the difference between what we learned in the Cougar investigation, which was the helicopter off the coast of Newfoundland where we had a recorder, and an investigation where we don't have a recorder, there's just a world of difference in terms of the safety lessons that we can pull out of those investigations.
Some questions were answered, while others still remain. One investigator said there were several theories on how the crew misperceived the signals.
Yes. Well, the train was traveling at 67 miles per hour when it approached the crossover, and it should have been traveling at 15 miles per hour. So due to the excessive speed, the train derailed, and that's essentially what caused the accident. But of course, there's no video or voice recorders in any of the cab, which presented some challenges for us, and we've identified a number of theories as to why we believe that the crew misperceived the signals. Then the work crew ahead, they sounded their horn when they saw the work crew, but they continued to accelerate, and there was no application of the brake. The horn was sounded in an area where there's an anti-whistling, so all of these indicators show that the crew expected to go through on track 2 and was not focused on slowing the train to 15 miles an hour, which is what they should have been doing.
The board did say that they would not contribute this to human error.
No, we said that the crew misperceived a signal, and it's not our job to assign fault, blame, or liability. Our job is to identify what went wrong in the accident and to identify risks in the system, and that's what we've done here, and that's why the board's made 3 recommendations.
Miriam Shah for the Toronto Sun.